Congratulations on your new TM6 purchase. I am Chelsea McGill, your Thermomix consultant, and I'm so excited to support you to ensure that you love your new baby. Now let's unbox our TM6 together. So I've got a couple of little bits and pieces in here, just some important safety information. Make sure you have a read of that one. Then in this box here, we have some of our accessories. So in here is our Varoma. Now, our Varoma is our steaming attachment. Let's open this one up. We have our Varoma lid. Inside we've got a couple of other bits and pieces. We have our Varoma dish. And this one here is our Varoma tray. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Varoma when we catch up for a delivery, but this is our steam attachment, and this is one of my favorite accessories. It more than doubles the capacity of your Thermomix and gives you the ability to do so much more than what you would be able to do without it. We love this one. Do not be scared of it. It's going to be your best friend. Dish, tray, and lid. Here we have our butterfly whisk. Now, our butterfly whisk is for whipping, aerating, anything that needs to be light and fluffy, and is going to be one of your favorite little bits and pieces to help you out. Now, this one sits on top of the blades like this and does all the fun whipping for you. We can talk more about that at our delivery as well. Here we have our spatula, which is perfect. Here we have our spatula. Now, our spatula is nice and soft, perfect for scraping. If you've owned a TM5 or 31 before, you might notice that this is soft compared to the old, harder one. It is much better. You've got your ring around here, which means you can pop your spatula in while the blades are spinning, and you can use it. You can pop it in while the blades are spinning to help with any stirring, and this lip stops the spatula from touching the blades. So super handy. Also is a great little way to pop it on the bench without it touching and making a mess. Then we have a little hook here, which we're going to use for our simmering basket, which we'll talk about in a minute. This one is our splash guard. Now, our splash guard is for when we're in the high heat mode. We'll talk more about that shortly as well. Then we have our measuring cup, which sits in the lid of our mixing bowl. We'll pop those to the side. Here you have our basic cookbook, which is filled with lots of great tips and tricks. So sit down, make yourself a cuppa and have a read through here. There's some awesome stuff and a lot of beautiful recipes. And there's 120 recipes in here that are actually built into your Thermomix to be accessed without Wi-Fi or without a Cookie Do subscription as well. So make sure you have a read of that one. Next up, we've got a little bit of packaging. Put that one aside. You'll notice that most of our packaging is recyclable, which is great. Now, let's grab our Thermomix out, placing it down gently. You do also have an instruction manual. You probably won't need this one. That's what I'm here for, but you do have it in case you like to read. You will like a little bit more info. Now, just gently unwrap this one, and we can pop that aside. That retractable cord is great for storage, or if you are taking the Thermomix away with you. But if you have the cord retracted, it will affect your scale. So we want to make sure our cord is pulled out. I've done too good of a job retracting it there now. Pulled out all the way until you see the little red bit of tape. Now let's plug it in and turn it on. To turn it on, just going to move this out of the way. We're going to use the large button here and press that down, and you'll see the screen light up. Now, you do have a protective sticker on your screen here. It does need to come off. I know that might kill some of you, but if we don't take it off, it can affect the touch screen. So we want to get rid of that one. And you have these little bits of blue tape on here as well. Now, let's take these ones off. If you just peel from the corner, and we'll just come off like so. There we go. Into the bin. Now it is going to take a couple of minutes to turn itself on for the first time, so let's let it do that. While that is turning itself on, it might be a good time for you to create your new Cookie Do account if you haven't already done so. Cookie Do is our recipe platform that has over 100,000 recipes from all around the world. It is going to sync seamlessly with your TM6 to give you ongoing inspiration. Now, we want to go to the website. There is also an app, but when we want to sign up, we're going to go to the website. So we're going to go to cookiedoo.com.au, cookidoo.com.au. If you have already signed up for your 30-day trial, or if you do already have an account, that is great. If not, just click sign up in the top right corner. Now, when we click on sign up, it's going to have a think, and then it's going to take us over to our sign up page, which you can create a free 30-day trial of our Cookie Do if you haven't had an account before. For those of you that already have an account, let's just log in. Nearly done turning on here. So we're going to log on in. So log yourself in, and shortly we are going to add an extra 3 months of the Cookie Do subscription onto your account. So for those of you that got your free 30-day trial, you're going to have 4 months for free to try it out and see what you think. For those of you that already have an account, whatever you have on your account at the moment, that will add another 3 months onto. So you may already have 6 months on your account, 3 months, 12 months, that will give you that extra 3 months topped up on top of that. So we are going to talk more about Cookie Do in a moment, but our TM6 is on. Now we're going to go through our setup. So while we are setting this up, the first thing is it's going to ask us for our language, so we can scroll down. We can find English Australia. Hit that next button. Where do you live? Australia is first, so let's select that one. And then we can connect to our Wi-Fi. Make sure you've got your Wi-Fi details, and we're going to connect up to my Wi-Fi here. I'm just going to turn this around a little so I can type it in and pop your password in. They make these passwords so long these days. All right, I like to press show password so I can see what I'm typing in. We're going to connect up to our Wi-Fi. Oh, my password's wrong. Excuse me. So I got my Wi-Fi password right this time. So hit that next button. And now we're going to log into our Cookie Do. So that email address and password that you've used to create your Cookie Do account, that we've just created, or the one that you already have, we're going to enter that on the screen. If you have a stylus lying around, you can use that if you find that easier. Okay, we are now logged into our Cookie Do account. I hope you are too. Now it's going to take us through a couple of safety instructions. So I'd love if you could just take a moment to have a read of these as we flick through, and I'll let you do that. Now that you've read those safety instructions, we do just have a risk of scalding here. So this is just another safety instruction for you. That is just a precaution. So let it know that yes, you've done it, and then it is going to want to do a software update. So if you have time, I suggest doing that. These have come from Germany, so there is possibly 1 or 2 software updates ready to go. It shouldn't take too long, but hit that update button. I'm going to say maybe 10 to 15 minutes is pretty normal for a software update, depending on your Wi-Fi connectivity. So it is doing that software update, it's telling me about 8 minutes, 7 minutes. It's moving quite quickly, so that's not going to take too long at all. While that is downloading, it could be a good time for you to give your accessories a bit of a wash through. Give them a bit of a once over, make sure they are nice and clean, and let them air dry, or you can dry those. You might also want to start having a little bit of a browse through your basic cookbook. All right, we've done our software update. Now you see we've got a banner along the top here that says start your Cookie Do free trial. We're going to click on that one. Let it do its thing. My internet is not very fast these days. Now you can hit remind me later, or we can hit our start free 3 months. click the green one. Success, your 3 months free cookie dough is now activated. Your next subscription payment will only be due 3 months later on whatever date it has taken you through. Managed to zoom in there, sorry about that. There we go. All right, so now that has added our cookie dough on and we are ready to get moving. Inside here is our simmering basket. This is another one of our attachments. This is fabulous for doing things like poached eggs, the best boiled rice ever. Lots of layered cooking. So I really love using the simmering basket when, say, we might have water in the bowl, we might have rice, potatoes, something like that in there. Lid goes on, the roller goes on top, and we might have meat and veggies cooking, something like that, getting all those beautiful layers in there at the same time. So that is all of our accessories. Now we have our Thermomix here ready to go. Now here we have our time, temperature and speed screens, and we're going to talk more about that when we catch up on FaceTime or in person. So this is where we do our manual cooking. We touch our time, temperature or speed. When we swipe from the right to the left, that will take us into our mode. So we've got things like our scales, our sensor, our chop tool, dough, turbo, self-clean, everyone's favorite, the blender, the egg boiler, the kettle, the warmer, the thicken, the rice cooker, fermentation, slow cook, sous vide, peeler, grating, slicing and spiralizing, which is really exciting. So there, how we can access all of our modes. But of course, we can also access our modes through Cookie Dough. When we swipe the other way on the screen, it will bring up Cookie Dough. Hello, Chelsea McGill, what would you like to cook today? We've got our search screen, and then we can scroll down our search bar, scroll down to what's new on Cookie Dough. Cookie Dough is always being updated. To give you a bit of an idea, when I started with Thermomix almost 6 years ago, we had 42,000 recipes. We now have topped over 100,000. So always being added to. So what's new here? Keep scrolling down, and we've got some lunchbox options, getting ready for back to school, bits and pieces that you can have a browse through, or of course you can do some searching. Now I am going to show you how we take our bowl apart. So lift your Thermomix jug straight up. It's going to bring it up out of the Thermomix. Now when they're new, they are a little bit stiff. That is really normal. And what we're going to do is put a little bit of muscle into it, but hold the bowl this way. It's nice and clean, so don't stress. Pop your fingers in the grooves here. Using your palm, we're pressing down on the base, and we want to twist clockwise, anti-clockwise. I've confused myself now. We want to twist towards the heat symbol on this one here. So twist towards your heat symbol, the base comes off. Be careful not to tip the bowl up like this, because the blades are now loose and they can fall out, and I don't want them to hit your toe or hit the floor. So your blades do come out. Now your Thermomix is all dishwasher safe. All of your accessories here can go in the dishwasher. I don't tend to put the Varoma lid in the dishwasher. I find it can warp a little bit. It does unwarp when it gets warm again when it's been used, but it also doesn't really get dirty enough to warrant going in the dishwasher. But your bowl can go in the dishwasher. These pins here can get wet. That is, just make sure that they are nice and dry before you pop them back on. So this is your electrical connection port. Totally fine to get wet as long as it's dried. Now you can put that in the dishwasher, you can hand wash it, you can do whatever you like. Now to put it back together, grab the top of the knob here and line it back up. Give it a twist until it goes in. Using your other hand, hold the knob on the top of the blades and tip your bowl upside down, pushing your blades upwards. Now you want to line your little lip of the base up with that heat symbol, and then just use your hand to pull it back in. As I said, it is quite stiff. The more you use it, the looser that will become, and it becomes really easy. So make sure it's nice and dry, and then you can place it back on. Top tip, something really important to remember, don't ever put your Thermomix bowl on the Thermomix without being fully assembled. Say you've unpacked the dishwasher, you're in a bit of a rush, you throw the bowl with no blades or base on here and think, I'll fix that later. Then you forget, or someone else in the family comes along, if you pour liquid into the jug without the base and blades, it will go down into the motor. Now it does have a diversion system to steer it away from the motor to protect it, but we just want to avoid that from happening because we don't want to damage your Thermomix. So the bowl only goes back on the Thermomix once it is fully assembled. Get into that habit and you'll never have a problem. Measuring cup sits in like so. Actually, we're going to take our measuring cup out. We're going to swipe across to our modes and we're going to open up our scales. Click on your scales. Make sure there's nothing touching your Thermomix now, or the cord. Now your scales are the feet of your Thermomix. So we don't want to drag the Thermomix around the bench. We always want to use the handle at the back and lift it and place it back down. Or we do have the glider board on the mix shop, which is a great option if it's somewhere on your bench where you are going to be moving it a lot. Now, you might notice when you touch the Thermomix, it weighs. The benefit of the scales being in the feet means that you can weigh on the lid when you are getting your next ingredients prepped, things like that. Hit that tare button so it's back down to 0. And we're going to weigh our measuring cup. So we're going to push it into the hole in the mixing bowl lid, and it should weigh between 80 and 85 grams. I'm weighing in at 81, which is perfect. If you've come in a little bit out, just make sure nothing's touching it, cord's fully pulled all the way out, hit the tare button and try again. If for some reason it is not, please let me know and we will move forward together with that one. So our scales are working great. We've had a look at our modes, showed you how to take the base apart, given you some brief information on our accessories, which I said we will talk about more when we do a little quick catch up. Now our splash guard is for when we're using our high heat mode. You only need the splash guard when it asks for the splash guard. That one does sit on top like that. Now, I did mention our little hook on our spatula here. This is for your simmering basket. So when your simmering basket is in your Thermomix, you've generally got water below it that can be quite hot. If you use your hand to pull that up, a lot of steam can come out and it can burn you. So we want to use our little hook here. Lid opens that way. Got a little hole here. We're going to line our spatula up nice and flat and pull it into that hole, and that creates a handle so we can get that in and out safely, which is great. And it comes off again. Now those are the basics of our TM6. One last thing that is really important that you may have read in my ebook is that we want to make sure your filters are set right on Cookie Doo. So we're going to go on into the app. If you've got the app, log into the app. Otherwise, on the website, log in and then click on your profile in the top right corner. We're going to go into View Profile. And then we are going to scroll down. Now you can select what kind of cook you are: veggie cook, time-saving cook, chefy cook, classic cook. The more you use Cookie Doo, the smarter it'll get. A little bit like Netflix, and be able to recommend things for you. You can select what accessories you have. If you have a cutter, blade cover, peeler, sensor, you can tick those, because then it will bring up recipes using those. Then we want to go to our filters, update filters. Now you can select TM6 if you would like. Then language, we want to be set on English. And we do not want any countries ticked. So untick Australia. We don't want any countries ticked. And we hit save. Now we're going to exit out of that one. And we're going to reopen it. I can't remember what I was in. I was in Chrome. Using my son's iPad here. I would normally do this on my phone, but I am filming. So back into Chrome, back into Cookie Doo. And now we have reset our filters. And now when we hit search, we should see around 12,000 recipes. Depending on whether or not you've got those accessories, you might have slightly less than me. I've got 12,290 results showing because I've got those accessories. If you don't have cutter, peeler, sensor, it will take those out. So you might have slightly less than me. Now this is all about English language recipes. So over 12,000 English language recipes, which gives you over 27 years of new recipes to try, which is pretty crazy. You can, if you do speak another language, you are welcome to select those other languages. Or if you love a certain country's cuisine or dish, you can absolutely add that language in, and you can use a translator app. So Google Chrome, you will find, does translate things automatically for you, or there's the Google Translate app as well, which you can hold up to the screen of your guided cooking to translate for you. But there we have our basic unboxing of our Thermomix TM6. I'm looking forward to catching up with you to cover a few other important bits and pieces and following you along on your new Thermomix journey. I'm here to support you every step of the way. So please let me know that you've watched this and that you've done your unboxing once your Thermomix has arrived, and then we can set up a time to catch up. I hope this was really helpful for you, and I'm really excited to hear what your first dish is going to be. If you haven't planned your first dish, get on Cookie Doo and start picking some things to try, and let me know what that first dish is going to be. Happy cooking. I'll see you soon. Bye.